You're joining me for a Jamaican rum video I had no intention of making. It's only feedback from you lot and the comments and the messages and the emails I was getting. It was like, when's Myers going to come out? Myers this, Myers that. It's not that I truly dislike Myers. It's just the fact that I dismissed it very early doors in my rum journey, if you like, and haven't revisited it since. So it was just never on my radar because I dismissed it. You know, it wasn't for me as good as Gosling's, and we all know what I think. Well, most of you would know what I think of Gosling's compared to some of the other darker rums that you can get out there these days, like Worthy 109, for instance. So before I throw complete shade at Myers, I thought it would be, well, you know, revisit it. And there's no harm in revisiting it. And does it work? For my two things. So my two things that have transpired throughout this little journey. I was looking originally for just the one Jamaican rum that I would constantly stock. But it's kind of progressed because more I've gone down this Jamaican journey, it's kind of developed into actually why I enjoy sipping neat as a Jamaican rum doesn't actually work too well as a One Rum Jamaican Mai Tai. Now, I know we've had these conversations already over this past month. It's like, well, you know, what is the point of a One Rum Jamaican Mai Tai? Because we've got so many access to so many rums. Most of us would do 2, 3, 4 rum Mai Tais anyway. But I think what those comments kind of miss is that actually, do you know what? A lot of people at home want to try a Mai Tai, but don't have 2, 3, 4 different rums. They just buy like maybe a rum a month. So my whole mission was aimed at them. What if you want to really do the Mai Tai and enjoy a Jamaican rum at the same time? What is that One Rum Mai Tai? And don't forget the original Mai Tai was one rum that Ray and nephew 17-year-olds. Anyway, enough waffle. Myers. What can I say about Myers? Not too much. Mass produced. It is Jamaican rum. Long Pond, I think it comes out of. It doesn't matter. I think it might even be a blend, National Rum of Jamaica blend from Long Pond Clarendon. I don't know the nuts and bolts. All I do know is that Diageo, who had it for a long, long time, offloaded it pre-COVID. I forget that it wasn't that much before COVID. Maybe 2019, 2018, late 2018, 2019. Offloaded it because it didn't fit in with their premium direction that they were headed in. So Diageo, one of the world's biggest giants, the spirit owners, offloaded it. Sazerac now owns it and distributes it. I think it's Sazerac. I don't know who distributes it in the UK. Sazerac definitely own it. Just to give you the back of the bottle, since 1879, the name Myers has been recognised as the world's finest full-bodied rum. Produced in Jamaica, Myers Rum continues to be distilled in traditional pot still method and allowed to mature in white oak barrels. It is a final aging period that plays a critical role in determining the distinctive dark colour, rich buttery flavour that is synonymous with Myers. So, before we dive in, let's look at the price. Now, I think this is possibly why it's got a lot of love here. If I scroll up very slightly on my screen, I think it is the cheapest rum here by a long, long way, and the cheapest rum that I'm going to be featuring. £22 in the UK. And to translate into dollars, because this will be massively on the American, on the US market, that's $27.50. So you know what to do, US guys. Embarrass us. I bet you're paying even less than $20, aren't you? I know someone's going to go, oh, I pay $11 for it. I don't think it'll ever be like that stupid. I get some stupid comments on there that people are just like, pick a number that's just ridiculous and never ever going to happen. I've got access. I can see prices in the US. I can see what some people are paying and what others aren't. So, but I want, it's kind of the main price of this. I would suspect it's less than $20 in the US. But $27.50 is what it equates to in the UK, and €25.50 there. So that's the gap. Right, let's dive into the nostrils and have a little taste. So first off, do I pick that as Jamaican rum off the nostrils? No. But I don't really, this is the argument, that ongoing argument I have with myself about what is authentic Jamaican rum. Is it Appleton that's lovely, fruity, pot and column blended? Or is it the Hamden, the Smith & Cross, which is out and out sort of pungent, esters, funk, you know, that kind of stuff. Basically, what I'm saying is this isn't funk. This isn't ester, high ester rum. This is just a chocolatey, molassesy, rich. I'm not getting too much else on it, to be fair. Do I get banana that you would associate with Jamaica? No. Do I get tropical fruits that you associate with Jamaica? No. There's just nothing really on it that kind of typifies Jamaica for me. It's like, when I say molasses, let's if you know what molasses is, but treacle. That's where I'm going for, treacle. Treacle, very sort of dark roasted toffee caramel kind of thing. I tell you what, there is actually a little note of like mixed fruit, and that translates in the UK to like, you know, sultanas, raisins, Christmas cake, fruit sort of stuff. I'm assuming you have the same thing in the US, but how would I describe that? What's the word? Prunes, you know, prunes, that sort of, you know, yeah, dried grapes, sultanas, that kind of vibe. But nothing else really. Nothing of theirs screams Jamaican. Right, taste. Now that's actually quite interesting, because that's nowhere near as sweet as what I was expecting. I dismissed this as a sweet rum, and it's not. Not even remotely close to being a sweet rum. In fact, I don't think it's as sweet as Skipper. That does confuse me. Okay, let's get a little reality check here for a second. Do I think that's a great rum? No. It's unrefined. It's kind of rough around the edges. Do I think of that as Jamaican? No. Wood, burnt, charred wood. Is there fruit? I'm struggling to pick out fruit on that. This is a really interesting one. I think the best way, right, and this is where my head is, rightly or wrongly, I don't know. If you brand yourselves as a Jamaican rum, at least try and bring some Jamaican element to it. Do I get what you would associate with Jamaican rum? I don't get the funk. We've already established that. There's no funky, pungency, ripe banana to it at all. Not even on the smell, not on the taste. So that's gone for a start off. There is heavy char, heavy wood, chocolatey, roasted coffee vibe to it. And I think this is the issue that I have. Because it's marketed as a Jamaican rum, I want it to be Jamaican-esque. Actually, if this was just marketed like Gosling's, for instance, as a dark rum, I think in rum world, it actually might get a bit more love. Ignore the price. I can see how that's going to work in cocktails. I can see, I don't think it'll be up my street for a rum and coke or a rum and ginger beer, dark and stormy. I can see how it would be for some people. But I think that's the thing. I think, especially in the kind of, I don't live in geek world, but I live in like a crossover world. I pay attention to what the 5% are saying, but I'm pretty much, I'm more into that 95% world, the mass market world. And I get why the 5% dismiss this, but the 5% are probably dismissing this for what I've just said. It's not Jamaican. There's not anything about that screams Jamaican. But does it have potential to be a decent cocktail and mixing rum? I think it potentially does. I'm so conflicted now with it, because on the same level of, it's not as refined as Worthy Park. Worthy Park is just a delicious all-round experience. It balances wood, barrel aging, heavy char with fruits, with kind of that sort of lovely, rich kind of flavour without it being, you know, zero dosage. You can't add sweetness to Jamaican rum. It's not in that class. And that is, all right, it's a little bit expensive because it's a litre bottle, but if you break it down to a 70cl price, it's actually quite cheap in itself. And I think I would still rather spend the money a little bit more on that than I would that, because it is more refined. But I think I've been really quick to dismiss this as a mixing cocktail rum, because for what was the price? £22? $27. I know it's cheaper in the US. €25.50, that has got potential to be a decent part of a cocktail tiki rum. It's going to need some balancing, some other rums to kind of play their part with this, because this in a soul rum cocktail isn't going to give you what you need. But to give you that dark, that right, dry, sort of dark roasted notes, wood, heavy char notes to a cocktail, it's got that. And you can tell it's unrefined, because I think it's actually a lot stronger than what it is. And it's only 40%, which typically means that it's that's what I would class as rough and ready. That drinks to me like a 40. The thinness gives it away as a 40%, but the actual feisty alcohol kind of gives it to me that, well, I kind of suspect it's a little bit stronger than 40, but because it's 40, it just means it's less kind of refined on the finish. This is going to be interesting for One Rum Mai Tai. So here's the interesting comparison. Worthy 109, just done a straight Zymaca. Kind of like a Jamaican funk forward, decent entry price, because that's bulk hill, and I haven't replaced it until I'm not going to replace that, as I said, until the end of the season. As I finished, I've still got, I think, potentially 5 more videos to do, I think. Is that as bad as what I was expecting? No. That is a perfectly acceptable One Rum Mai Tai. It doesn't give you funk. And I think the cocktail personally lacks that. I do want those banana notes. I do want the high ester, that kind of vibe on a Mai Tai. But as a One Rum Mai Tai, that is decent. It's not in the Zymaca class. But I think the Zymaca, having now gone down the worthy route, I think the Mai Tai does benefit from not only having that pungent funk banana kind of note to it, but I think a little bit of full-bodiedness to the extra char in the barrels kind of bring. So head-to-head, Worthy 109 versus Myers. For me personally, there is zero competition. The Worthy 109 is just a class apart. It really is. Everything I want in that. That's just delicious. Give me that time and time again. This is just a little bit lacking, not in alcohol, not in flavour. It's just like the balance in it. I just want something more from it. So to sum this video up, look, surprising. I think I do need to give this a bit more love in cocktails, in the cocktail breakdowns, cocktail dissections that I do with the tiki cocktails. It does need to come out as a bit more love in there, because that actually, for some cocktails where I think Skipper or becomes too rich, because I think actually that could play a vital role in some of these tiki cocktails, because it has got the dark roasted notes to it, the heavy char notes to it, like that has, but that's got a little bit more body, a little bit more volume, a little bit more richness. So in some tiki cocktails, that will actually have a huge part to play. But I just can't get away from it. The Worthy 109 just smashes that hands down.